Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the UVa LCS. My name is Simus, and let me get some Champion Select music going for you guys. Whoa. That is really, really loud. But anyway, we are into this. UVa LCS Week 2, Gank of America versus Hi Buddies Team Gag Reflex. So Hi Buddies team is 1-1 so far, and Gank of America are 1-2. Both teams not getting a great start for this spring semester. We'll see whether or not they can turn their luck around here. Gank of America, especially, if any of you watched the pregame show, a lot of people thought they were going to be much stronger than they are, and I'm not sure whether or not this rough early start has been due to growing pains for a new team or whether they just suck. We'll have to find out. Obviously, we will find out. In this game, at least, it'll be indicative of things to come in the future. Malphite, Maokai are the bans for Gag Reflex. Thresh, Lee Sin, and Renekton ban away from Gank of America. Probably that Lee Sin ban target against Latte, the really, really strong jungler for this Gag Reflex squad. And Nautilus the last ban, so a lot of tanks banned away from Gag Reflex. I'm curious whether those were specific target bans. I know Demorex plays a lot of Malphite, so that's definitely a target ban against her. But maybe the carry players for Gag Reflex are just saying, you know what, guys, this is really not fun to play with. So let's just get rid of all the tanky dudes. I would just want to do a ton of damage. I'm not sure whether or not Gank of America are going to lock this in. Yeah, Warwick, first pick. Updude Sinclair. I don't even know. I've seen him play Warwick before, but I don't know if he's really that proficient on the champion. That being said, it's not as if it's a hard champion to play. You just generally click ultimate onto the enemy carry and win the game. But seriously, though, it does have a little bit of strategic depth in the early game as you are incredibly strong. I don't feel like it's a very strong pick at the moment, so I don't expect to see that. Could we actually see his Shaco? No, it's going to be the Nocturne locked in for Updude Sinclair. So very likely going to be going to jungle, probably going to go for Devourer, might be able to build a Warrior enchantment for that early damage, but I doubt that's going to be the case. And we'll see whether or not Gag Reflex can work with the fact that Nocturne's early game is so poor. It's not as if he can't gank pre-6, but his ultimate certainly is a very big part of his kit and actually getting ganks off successfully. And if the enemy has any kind of vision, it's going to be near impossible for you to actually gank as a Nocturne before you get your ultimate. But once you do have that ultimate available, it's just a matter of finding the right carry, the right opportunity to go for that. So we will see how this team plays around the jungle pick. Our Dragon taking his sweet time. He's been hovering over this Darius for a while. Not really something we've seen in the LCS so far, but actually Poppy is indeed one of those champions we've seen in the real LCS all the time. And Hi Buddy's going to lock in that Morgana too, so if this is the Poppy lock, and that's a lot of peel, that's a lot of disengage, that's a lot of protection for a carry-style champion for this Gag Reflex composition, and a decent amount of engage as well. I was actually just casting a game in which I saw both Morgana and Poppy being played on different teams, but yeah, they're both very, very strong champions in the current metagame, and they serve to protect carries very effectively. So we'll see what Gank of America decide to do. I don't know if I want to see a Teemo here, because Teemo is toxic champion, literally, but actually wouldn't be a terrible pick against Poppy. Could probably dominate that lane pretty well. The UVa LCS doesn't really feature lane swaps very often, so taking advantage of that winning matchup for Gank of America in the top lane might be pretty beneficial. But actually, Demorex is going to lock in Janna. Is she going to be playing support here? I'm not sure what the roster looks like as far as their roles are concerned this season. And Yu will be locking in the Ezreal, so carry with a lot of self-peel, has Janna peel as well. Probably going to be building into that blue build, go for the tier, get your Iceborne Gauntlet, and then you have a really strong mid-game power spike. Ezreal's definitely one of those champions that in the current metagame, he can solo carry if your Ezreal player is doing well and just doesn't ever get shut down and gets rolling, then he can absolutely be his own sort of hyper carry, even if he's almost a utility-based champion. It's very, very interesting. And for Gag Reflex, they're considering how they would disrupt this Ezreal, how they would shut him down, especially up against Janna support. That's a lot of peel for the Ez, and I wouldn't mind a Sivir pickup here, because the Sivir would just be able to speed up the team. You pop your on the hunt, and you just chase the Ezreal down. It doesn't matter if he's slowing you. If you're fast enough to chase him, then you can just kill him before then. But you know who else is really good at chasing down champions? It's, of course, Vayne. And then Latte stands to figure that he would be playing a carry. Kindred, super strong right now. It also favors the way he plays. I'm curious to see if he's going to go for Warrior Enchantment first, or if he does decide to go for Devourer, get that little bit of later game strength, and sacrificing an early presence. Both junglers in particular could go Devourer this game, and it'd be interesting to see whether or not in this matchup either decides to go for Warrior instead. Aurelion Sol is the new champion that was released recently. He's actually pretty strong. I feel like he might be worthy in competitive play, if not actually completely OP, just because of how strong he is. The question is, does Crimson Cat really want to play him the first time here in the UVa LCS? This would certainly be the first UVa LCS Aurelion Sol game we see, but you have to wonder, does Crimson Cat have enough practice on this champion? Whoa, 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 whoa. Crimson Cat swapping. Does not go with the Aurelion Sol, instead going for the Shaco. What? Top lane AP Shaco. This might be it. That would be really interesting. I don't know. I almost feel like it probably has a strong matchup into Poppy. But, that's curious. Curious to say the least. If it doesn't work, it isn't a champion that scales very well. And that's kind of an issue for Gank of America's composition, is the fact that their late game scaling isn't great. They have a decent amount of damage with the brand. Their Nocturne might be strong late game too, but they don't have any real tanks. They're very heavily utility based, and they're also fairly heavily into the AP damage side of things. So a Locket of the Iron Solari for Gag Reflex is probably going to mitigate a huge amount of teamfight potential. And Metapaka, does he lock in the Lulu? It looks like he will. And that's going to mean, basically, it's a 2-carry show for Joe's Bay and Latte on Vayne and Kindred. The 2 marksmen with a lot of support. You have Lulu, you have Kindred, Poppy, Morgana. It's going to be very, very hard for the members of Bank of America to actually lock down these very mobile carries. And if the marksmen survive, then Gag Reflex can just walk all over Gank of America. But anyway, folks, this is, of course, the UVa LCS. I think I said this before, or at least on the Facebook page. Unfortunately, no overlays today, because I've actually been having a lot of technical difficulties at home. So hopefully that's not a huge deal. Obviously, we'll still have the gameplay. It should still be in 720p at 30 FPS, so not a very big problem. Let me know in the chat if there is anything going wrong. If I drop any frames or anything, I'll try and take care of that as soon as I possibly can. Anyway, folks, I've actually been casting a decent amount today, so I'm a little bit tired, and I am going to go to a quick break as we load down the spectator delay. I see you in chat, my little skill. How's it going, Trevor? But yeah, we have less than 3 minutes to go before we get into this game. Gank of America versus Gag Reflex in Week 2 of the UVa LCS. 1-1 Gank of America, or excuse me, 1-2 Gank of America versus 1-1 Gag Reflex. If Gag Reflex win this, they will put themselves in prime position for taking control of the lead in Group A, whereas Gank of America, they really need this win to stick up in the middle of the rankings tie. But it is, of course, only Week 2, so there's still a lot that can happen. Anyway, guys, going to be playing some Monster Cat music, probably some Tristram, and I will see you guys in just a few minutes when we load in.
can stay right here, we will play until somehow you can find a slightly different frame of mind. Right here in my arms, away from all harm, you'll be safe from all the flares, although I know you don't care. Take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. Shattered frame of mind. Instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind. Take a deeper breath and give it time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UVa LCS. My name is Seamus Anderson, and I will be bringing you guys the action in week number 2. It is Gag Reflex on the red versus Team Gank of America on the blue side.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Level 1 potential always there, of course. We see a couple of members. Actually, pings from Gank of America. Are they going to invade onto this? There's only 3 members from... Oh, man. Dimmerx getting caught out by that binding. Forced to flash away. Takes a lot of damage. Latte flashes, but cannot get the kill. Auto attack not doing enough damage there. And that's flash traded jungler for support. Actually, ended up in favor for, I want to say, Gank of America. A little bit of chatting in the chat. That's certainly what it's supposed to be used for. Of course, those of you who follow the NCAA tournament, a big shout out to the season who's had. Unfortunately, we blew a 16-point lead today against Syracuse. So perhaps the emotional trauma weighing highly on these players. Don't actually think that's the case. Most of us are gamers. Most of us don't follow sports that much. But you never know. Certainly, as my job as caster, it is important to talk about anything that might be affecting these players as they play these champions. And speaking of these champions, what the heck? Crimson Cat is playing Shaco in the top lane. He is a madman. For those of you who follow prolific streamers, Pink Ward is a top lane Shaco main. He's not like super prolific. He's not at the highest tier, but he does have a decent following. Has a couple of hundred viewers whenever he does stream, and he was really the first person on Reddit, at least, that showed us what a AP Shaco can do. Does a lot of damage with those boxes. Very, very annoying to play against, and he can also get that Illuminati triangle set up. Hi, buddy. Looking for the binding. He's level 1 to level 2 from UU, though. Oh, Demorex walking into that. Hi, buddy's still in the brush, so they can't see him. Getting a little bit of harass down there. Shaco was top laner a lot before. Yeah, generally you'll see Shaco in the jungle, though. It's pretty rare to see top lane AP Shaco, and it really was Pink Ward who was the first person who really showed people the way. Lumaduty trading with Mudapaka. The minions made that trade a little bit even, but Lumaduty is lower on mana. Oh boy, a lot of damage onto our dragon. Yeah. Oh, Gank in the mid lane, up to Sinclair's here, but Latte going to be able to retaliate. Latte taking a lot of damage here. Is going to get feared. Lumaduty, can he land the stun? No, that's just going to be the kill from Updude. Oh man, Kindred's early game not that strong, man. And Latte going down to FB. That's really nice for Gank of America. If they can shut down the enemy jungler, who is the highest ranked player in terms of solo queue stats, that would be very effective in this early game. And not to mention the fact that it's Updude Sinclair too. The co-captain along with Illumaduty is very effective. Those two guys, Adam and Jay, have been playing in the LCS together for years. And they do know how to snowball on advantage. So first blood to Gank of America. They get the slight gold lead as a result. Now let's see what they can do with that gold lead. Hi, buddy. He's really fishing for that binding. UU is forced to Arcane Shift away, and Hi, buddy, the binding goes completely wide, but he wasted UU the Unicorn's mana bar. They're going to be able to push. Morgana still has mana. Vayne still has mana, and UU and Dimmer X might start to fall behind even farther in terms of CS now. Oh, UU. It costs 90 mana to use Ezreal's E, and he is not even close to that right now. Latte doesn't have flash, and he is actually going to get feared here, so that's a lot of damage. Flash from Illumaduty. He does land a stun and a second kill to Updude Sinclair. They are very cognizant of the fact that the enemy jungler is going to be weak in this early game, and they are totally taking advantage of it. Look at that. 3 wards. Even after killing this Kindred twice, they still want to take him down. That is certainly a strong game plan. If you can tilt the enemy jungler by just repeat killing him over and over, it's going to be a big issue. Speaking of big issues, now our dragon getting caught out in the top lane. Directed camera says, screw that, let's look at bot lane. It looks like our dragon does make it out alive. However, he is falling behind in farm. 39 to 26 as of right now, the CS in favor of Crimson Cat up in this top lane. And interestingly enough, for those of you who don't know, Crimson Cat's name is Joe, and the Vayne player for Gag Reflex is called Joe's Bay. So it's a situation of Joe versus his Bay. Who will be the victor in this game? UU the Unicorn taking that binding damage, cannot E away, remember, so Demorex is forced to use her exhaust. She's going to auto-attack a little bit more, but she is as well. So I don't really think she's going to want to continue that much longer. And even though this bot lane is going in favor of Gag Reflex, the rest of the map is definitely in favor of Gank of America. Their solo laners are up in farm. Their jungler has 2 kills, and it's on a Nocturne too. A jungler with a huge carry potential. So it's really a big issue for Gag Reflex and something they have to address fairly soon. Otherwise, I feel like once Nocturne gets level 6, he's just going to be so damn strong. He's going to really start to snowball this even farther in favor of GOA. What is my opinion on Singe support? No. That's my answer is no. That Singe is not a support champion. Please don't do it. Your teammates will cry. Not worth. Lumaduty farming up against Mudapaka. Mudapaka going for Null Magic Mantle first, so respecting the damage from Brand. Probably going to be building into that Chalice later on. And shoutouts, by the way, to Mudapaka, who's... Oh, Latte getting caught out. Level 6 to level 5. He does have Flash, but Up2 might just follow it. No, he's going to take the Flash and leave. Perfect cooldown traded in favor of GOA. Now Mudapaka is going to dodge the stun. He's really fast with the Whimsy. Dodges from the W as well, and Brand actually losing that trade. What do I think about Trundle's support? Trundle's support's pretty good. The nice thing about Trundle is that even if he doesn't have much gold, when you steal your opponent's stats, he becomes so very tanky. Oh, ultimate from Illumiduty. Not going to do that much, though. No bounce to go to. Crimson Cat and our Dragon. Even with the gold lead for Crimson Cat, he is trading pretty evenly. Poppy might actually be able to go for this kill. We'll see. There's the fear. Our Dragon is going to go for the E, but is not going to land the stun. That's a lot of damage for Crimson Cat, looking for the retaliation. The Ignite comes down. Our Dragon is so low, the potion's not going to be enough. And meanwhile, on the bot lane, Joe's Bay forces Dimmer X to flash away. And very nice solo kill to Crimson Cat. It looked really close. It looked like our Dragon might have been able to take it, but he wasn't able to land that stun with his E, which was so crucial in that fight. Now Hi Buddy and Joe's Bay are still pushing their lead here. This is the only lane that's going in favor of... Oh, oh my god. Hi Buddy with the prediction Q, but just a little bit too soon. And you, the Unicorn, does a lot of damage to him. Another binding landing onto Dimmer X. Dimmer X taken very low. It does go down. Teleport coming in from Shaco here. Teleport is not answered by Poppy. Yes, now it is, but the thing is that the fight's already over at this point. What can Poppy do? Does land a stun onto Yu. Yu forced to flash away. Still taking a lot of damage. Joe's Bay and our Dragon might go on the chase. No, they're not. They have to back up because Shaco is still there. Crimson Cat going to get bound, actually. Very nice binding on the invisible target from Hi Buddy. And after that, Gag Reflex do pick up the kill. The teleports answered each other, so global objective pressure really going in favor of neither player or neither team there. Mudapaka forced to flash from this mid lane gank, and that's now Kindred and Lulu without their flashes. Perhaps we see Up2 Sinclair go for a kill on them in the next few moments. Illumiduty can land the stun, a lot of damage. He has Ignite, he does get the kill. As Mudapaka, just not respecting the damage that the Brand has, does go down. That's now a 4th kill over to Gank of America. So, almost 11 minutes into the game. Let's take stock of either side. 1,500, basically, the gold lead for Gank of America. Their scaling, not incredibly impressive, though, so they definitely need to make things happen with this gold advantage that they've taken so far. Crimson Cat farming under turret, doing a pretty good job so far. He's lasted every single minion. Ooh, can he get this one? Nope, misses that caster. But still, he's out farming. Our Dragon in the top lane, doing very, very well in the Shaco. Interestingly enough, going for Rod of Ages, it seems, which I haven't personally had much experience with Shaco, and AP Shaco in particular, but that's a curious buy. I feel like you go for more damage early, but going off tank might prove beneficial to Shaco as the game goes on, since you become almost an off tank at that point. Crimson Cat matching up against our Dragon. Oh, Dimmer X eats the binding. Shields yourself a little bit late. Took a lot of damage there from the Morgana alone. But Joe's Bay has Rapid Fire Cannon completed. Mudapaka dueling Illumiduty. He has the backup Latte. Illumiduty flashing away Nocturne. coming around the side to make sure that he's okay. But that is still Brand's flash down, which is a successful gank for Gag Reflex. Nocturne actually went up to the top lane, is looking for a gank here. Our Dragon does have flash available, so if he gets ulted on, he might just flash out. Up to Sinclair, what can he do? Can they hit the crowd control properly? Crimson Cat is trying to bait the Poppy to fight here. Oh, he's trying to bait him onto the trap, but it looks as if Poppy knows what the heck is going on. And what the heck is going on is if he steps on one of those traps, he's in big, big trouble. Kindred coming though, so we might see a 2v2 fight. Crimson Cat is still very low. Here we go, the ult onto Crimson Cat, the ult onto our Dragon flashing immediately, but the flash follow from up to Sinclair gets the kill. Meanwhile, the mid lane, Illumiduty trading with Mudapaka. Illumiduty gets the kill. He is going to go down eventually to the Ignite. Now, Latte caught out. He does have his ultimate available. He does have flash, forced to flash away, and that's a 2-4-1 in favor of Gank of America. They pick up a kill in the top lane and the mid lane. Their mid laner did go down, but they're going to get a lot of pressure on top lane. Probably take the turret as well. Let's take a look there. No, actually, the turret hasn't taken so much damage, so it might still stay alive. But still, that is very, very good for GOA. They have 2,000 gold lead now. And considering Updo Sinclair is on a killing spree, I don't think he has any signs of stopping. Ooh, stun landing there from Brand. A lot of damage from Illumiduty. Holy crap. That one rotation of spells did 800 damage. That is terrifying. Morellonomicon's Swerk boots completed for Brand. He is packing a huge wallop. Yu the Unicorn and Dimerex are close to their turrets, so we'll see whether or not Latte's gank is going to be effective. The binding is going to land. Yu forced to shift away here. Exhaust coming down to Joe's Bay, and actually the ultimate coming from Yu puts a little bit of damage onto Latte and Joe's Bay. Up to Sinclair is in the area at full HP, but he actually looks like he's going to just go for the recall here. And another situation in which GOA find themselves perfectly comfortable. Do not lose anyone. Don't even use summoners to get out of that so-called gank. Oh, we see Poppy. Wait a second. Poppy's Q hits invisible. That is a super interesting interaction. I didn't know that you can hammer shock things and kill Shaco traps. That makes sense, actually. It's still very interesting. Up to Sinclair and Illumiduty in the mid lane, but it looks like actually the top lane is our Dragon and Crimson Cat are trading, but you see the damage from AP Shaco is actually really big. Mudapaka getting stunned up, taken very, very low. He does have his ultimate, though, so it looks like the GOA jungler and mid laner don't want to bait themselves for a dive here. Ooh, Crimson Cat used his ultimate, and our Dragon responds with his own, but of course he didn't hit the right Shaco, and here comes up, dude. Crimson Cat picks up the kill into our Dragon, and the ping a little bit late from the members of Gag Reflex as another kill for Crimson Cat, and another one, and the first turret of the game in their favor. It's a 16-minute game and a 4,000 gold lead. Oh, hold on, that was the turret in the mid lane dying. This top lane turret's going to go down too, so that's about a 5,000 gold lead now for GOA. That's a very, very significant lead at this point. Come on, man. Crimson Cat, you got this. One more boop. Hit that thing. Come on, man. So remember to actually last hit the turrets, because otherwise you won't get that much logo gold. Crimson Cat is taking his sweet time, though, letting all the minions die before he gets the turret. Crimson Cat, hit it! No, he's not going to hit it. Oh well, misses out on a little bit, but of course you still get the global gold. Actually, is the turret even going to go down? No, it's not. Alright, Crimson Cat, here you go. No, he might not even be able to get this turret now, because he's so low. Oh, the stun is going to land. Crimson Cat, what have you done? He goes down to our Dragon, and oopsie daisy. Kind of a big mistake there from Crimson Cat. The turret eventually does go down, but meanwhile, Latte has been working on the dragon. And here we see the difference in jungle items. Devourer for Kindred, Warrior for Up to Sinclair. And it's bad because, honestly, Kindred is so far behind right now that her effective strength is going to be non-existent in these next 10 minutes or so while she works on her stacks. So it's, really, Nocturne's just going to be able to be so much more effective than Kindred in these team fights. And if they keep snowballing like they have been, rotate into the ball lane, take this ball lane turret, maybe get a double kill in their favor. That's going to be very, very good for GOA, while the rest of Gag Reflex just try to scale up. UU the Unicorn has Iceborne completed. Oh, Gank onto the mid lane. A lot of damage on the Mother Pocket. He ults himself. The Wild Growth not going to be enough, though, as he does get stunned up. And up, dude. Sinclair with the kill there. Teleporting the bot lane. Joe's Bay is going to go into Dimmerex, who does get condemned against the wall. Probably going to go down now. It does go over to Joe's Bay. So a 1-for-1 trade. However, Latte now being cut out. He's on a ward. Oh, this is bad for Latte. Can he flash away from the stun? Yes, he does. So that's good. But he still loses that summoner. Oh, rotation from our Dragon to this mid lane is members of GOA are working on it, but he needs to be careful not to get cut out here. Crimson Cat, he probably realized his past errors and now is working hard on taking that top lane turret. It's probably going to go down. It does go down. You, the Unicorn, trading with Joe's Bay. He does have help from Illuma Duty and Updo here, so High Buddy's going to be in big trouble. The flash from Joe's Bay isn't going to be enough to keep himself alive. I'm not even sure. The Fear's going to land, and Joe's Bay goes down as well. Updo Sinclair is unstoppable, and what a one-sided game from Gank of America. Up over 6,000 gold in the lead. Crimson Cat now forced to jump away. Is he going to get out, though? Our Dragon with a very, very nice chase. Does a lot of damage on the Crimson Cat, but Crimson Cat able to retaliate his own. That being said, though, meanwhile in this bot lane, it looks like Gank of America have been pushing uncontested, and really, Latte isn't enough to protect this. Oh, he's going to get ulted. He doesn't have flash, remember. The Fear will land. He ults himself right before he gets crowd controlled, but I think it's only a matter of time before he goes down. Who's it going to go over to? It does go over to Illuma Duty. He's going to get the blue buff now, and this is even more advantages in favor of Gank of America. Perhaps it's time you checked your Gank account, because Gag Reflex currently running on empty. Imperfection in chat talking about preferring Devour Nocturne. I think it's honestly, I do like Devour Nocturne very much, but it's interesting. It might have been a gut call because they're this far ahead that he just takes his advantage, goes for that cooldown reduction, goes for that brute force damage, and then push the advantage. It doesn't mean their late game is a little bit worse off, but when you're this far ahead, it's much better to snowball, so it's not like the worst decision in the world. Now Crimson Cat pushing this top wave. He is going to get ganked, but the thing is, High Buddy navigating through all of these traps. Ouch, stun is going to land. Crimson Cat, can he get out of this one? Pops his ulti, goes invisible, and a flash from High Buddy. He really wants to kill this Shaco. Gonna be able to do it. That goes to our Dragon, but meanwhile, Illuma Duty dueling Latte. Latte without the ultimate does have a decent amount of protection from Mudapaka, but gets stunned up. That's going to be a kill to UU. Ooh, and Illuma Duty eats the binding, but he's going to be okay because Dimmerex will be able to keep himself alive with a decent amount of peel. Janna, of course, one of the best champs in the game as far as peel is concerned. She has a shield, she has Monsoon, Tornado, Zephyr to slow the enemies. Our Dragon needs to be careful. Yeah, for currently for Gank of America, they have so much burst that against all the squishies from this Gag Reflex squad, that the warrior, it's fine. You know, you don't need sustained damage. You don't really need to duel anyone 1v1 because you have decent push pressure already with your Shaco. So for now, it's done very, very well for them. Into the mid game now. The death timers are kind of long. Of course, in Season 6, the death timers are changed a little bit. Illuma Duty gonna land the stun onto our Dragon. Gets chunked at half HP. High Buddy black shielded himself there, so pretty crucially too, because I think he might have actually gotten stunned. That was very close. We'll see how the siege goes for Gank of America, though. Illuma Duty doesn't have a blue buff up anymore. but they do have a decent amount of poke. Latte, what are you doing? How close are you to sated? Ooh, are you dead? I think you are. Goodbye. We'll never know how close he was to sated. Oh, meanwhile in the mid lane, Lumidude takes a lot of damage, but his team is there. Our Dragon with the Keeper's Verdict, but it's not enough to get the kill. And Lumidude baits the enemy team. It is now 3-0 in favor of Gank of America. The enemy jungler is down. The enemy top and support are down. This could probably be a Baron for free. We'll have to see what Joe's Bay and Mudda can do. Currently, they don't have much vision of it. They will use their blue trinket. The Farsight Totem will see it, but I don't really know if they can contest this. That being said, Lumidude is pretty low. Dimmerx is pretty low. She has her Monsoon available. She's not going to use it, though. It does look like the jungler will secure the Baron, so looked a little bit risky there, but a clean Baron on 5 members of Gank of America means they now have an over 10,000 gold lead, and they're probably just going to go ahead and push through this mid lane. So Baron up minion is going to be very, very strong. Do extra damage to turrets, are faster, more protection, very hard to kill. And considering the wave clear from Gag Reflex wasn't impressive in the first place. Oh, Joe's Bay is in huge trouble. Does have heal, doesn't have flash, and he is going to get caught out. Can he out-mechanic this team? And no, he cannot. I mean, honestly, there is little to no chance that he made it out of that one alive. Gank from America cleaning up that kill, pushing the spot wave out, and probably gonna rotate here. Lumidude eats the binding, but there's a little amount of damage. Not too much. Crimson Cat gonna get caught out. Glitter Lance will hit. Mudapaka, though, takes a lot of damage. Wild Growth and flashes away, but Yu is hit under turret now. So that binding, keeping Yu the Unicorn in place, and the turret shots doing a decent amount of work. However, Gank of America are simply so strong at this point that they're probably just going to keep pushing this. Our Dragon is 1v1ing Updude Sinclair, but the thing is, Updude is so damn fat. There's no way our Dragon can stay with this. And that is the turret taken by Gank of America. That's the bot inner turret down. They have a minion wave. They're still pushing the bottom lane inhibitor turret, but health bars are fairly low, so they might need to back up. This is just a one-off. The UVa LCS currently follows the real LCS, kind of how the season works. So, no series games, just best of ones. Over 5 weeks, and then we go into playoffs with the top 2 teams out of each group making it to the playoffs. So 6 teams in a group, 2 groups total, 12 teams total. And right now, Gank of America at the bottom of their group with a 1-2 record. But if they win this, they'll put themselves 2-2, which is decent. I know late September thought they would do much, much better. But it can take some time to really get into your groove. And speaking of your groove, Updude looking for the enemy Vayne flashes away, though, as he does not want to take turret shots, but he does get the kill onto the enemy Lulu. The Kindred ult's hitting 2, and a really nice Keeper's Verdict, knocking back 4 members of Gank of America, but it simply does not matter. 2 members down and very, very blinking low health bars from the side. Oh, Jesus, Lumidude. Just flashing over the turret there. He wanted that kill. Yeah, low health bars from the side of Gag Reflex just means that Gank of America are going to be able to take this mid lane turret. They have a huge wave pushing the top lane. They can probably take this as well. The turret's going to be taken low. Latte is still kind of healthy though, so maybe they can defend this inhib. Does not seem to be the case. 2 inhibs down, 26 minutes early in. That is a huge deficit that the members of Gag Reflex are finding themselves at. A little bit of the BM there from Yu the Unicorn, and another one. But seriously, a 15k lead after 26 minutes. I don't ever think we've seen that big of a lead. A comeback from that big of a lead, at least in the UVa LCS. So if the members of Gag Reflex do it, they will need a miracle. Latte's still working on his Devourer. That's gonna be pretty effective if he gets sated for his E, but he's still a couple of stacks away. So he might not even finish that by the time the next teamfight starts. As for Gag Reflex, they simply need to wonder how in the hell did we put ourselves in this position? How in the hell did we fight our way back? They have a decent amount of damage. Their Vayne has Rapid Fire Cannon IE, so their big crits might be beneficial, might swing a fight in their favor, but honestly, in straight up 5v5, it's hard to see a way in which Gank of America lose this. And for now, Latte is still working on his Devourer, but that means that the rest of GOA are able to push this bot lane turret. Hi Buddy's going to land the biting onto Yu. Does a little bit of damage, but the rest of GOA are working on the turret. The turret goes down. There's super waves pushing on both mid and top lane. The bot lane inhibitor is going to be taken down. This would be a 3 inhib lead for GOA, and perhaps one final team fight to end the game here. 28 minutes down, the super minions are on the Nexus. There are no other objectives for GOA to take. They're just going to look to end the game right here. The fighting is going to go on. Illumiduty and Yu will pick up the turret, and one Nexus turret is all that's remaining for Gag Reflex between victory and defeat. Latte takes a lot of damage from that ultimate from Ezreal. He's forced to back off, and Illumiduty is taking turret hits, but he doesn't really care because that turret is so very low. Half HP now to a third HP, to a quarter HP. It does get taken down, and this is it. An open Nexus. Gag Reflex need a miracle to win this team fight. They knock someone back. Up to Sinclair is recalling, but the rest of the team is on it. It simply does not matter. Yu, the Unicorn, and Crimson Cat are still up. They're hitting the Nexus. Yu flashes. He actually gets killed. That's a double kill for the Vayne, but Crimson Cat can do it. He can end the game just right here, or does he? That's going to be the triple kill to Vayne. Somehow Gag Reflex are still in this game, but there are super minions pushing for every single side. Gank of America are just playing the slow BM game. Up to recall there when he totally could have just ended, but I think that just might be the super minions ending the game for GOA. 1 HP, and that is gonna be it. Gank of America, after 28 minutes and 50 seconds, take a very convincing victory over Gag Reflex and put themselves 2-2 in this group.